Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while since I made a video, probably about a month, a little bit over a month, I guess, at this point. Since I filmed a video, I know I just released a video, or I uploaded a video not too long ago, about a week ago, but that was actually filmed back in mid-February. Today is March 21st, and since that time, a lot has happened and nothing's happened. Let me explain. As you guys know, we did have issues with the hardwood floor. The floor was actually popping up. So we talked to our contractor and he said they were going to fix it, as well as replace the flooring that is going up the hallway there. So we made a plan. We were gonna go to Rhode Island for a weekend, and during that weekend, they were gonna come in and fix the floor that was popping up, as well as replace the floor that was upstairs, which they're supposed to do the first time around. So we left, we came back, and then noticed that there was these black spots on the floor under the finish. So it wasn't like something you can just scrub right off, as well as the original issue, which was the popping of the floors. So now we had two issues, not just the one. We had the floors popping up, and then the black spots on the hardwood floors as well. So you can only imagine, we left. This would be the second time we had to leave our house. Coming back and coming into, we were kind of cautiously optimistic with it, but coming back and then finding those spots, and then still the floor not being completely fixed. So that was very annoying to say the least. Not to mention the amount of dust that was everywhere because they didn't use a dust system to kind of remove the dust. The first time they used my contractors, and then this time apparently they didn't use anything because there was dust everywhere, which was really freaking annoying because then we had to clean all that up on top of the floors not being done right. And I know you may say, well, when you do hardwood floors and you sand them, you're gonna get dust. That's right, but there are systems that you can get to reduce the amount of dust, but they didn't use that, and there was just dust everywhere. Up in the hallway upstairs that leads into our bedrooms, all the doors were wide open. We had closed them before we left, and I understand that they do need to probably get under there a little bit where the thresholds are, but they could have closed the doors after they were done to eliminate the amount of dust, because there was just dust in all the bedrooms, all the cabinets, because the first time they did it, these cabinets were in here, so they had lay of the land, but this time there were, so I had to kind of work around that. We had our contractor cover them, but even then they lifted them up because they had to get to the bottom of the floor. There was just dust everywhere, and it was a big pain in the butt. The next day, or maybe the day after that, I don't know. This is President's Day weekend, I believe. We get with a contractor and say to him, hey man, not only did the floor not get fixed, there's other spots that are popping up. Now we have these black spots. He had no idea what to say about those black spots. So let me back up a little bit. The contractor is not the person who installed the floor originally. He subcontracted that out to a hardwood floor company or a flooring company to install that. So when we talked to him, he's like, I have no idea what these spots are. I've never seen this. But he was pretty annoyed as well that the floor was still popping up. But he really didn't have a clear solution for us, which was kind of annoying as well. Eventually we said, hey man, we need the number for the flooring company because we got to talk to him directly. We got to see what's going to be done, what the issue is. So he came out about a week, maybe 2 weeks after the floor had been done. This is how much back and forth had been happening between our contractor and the flooring guy, and now with us and the flooring guy. And he finally came out, and he also didn't know what the black spots were. And he was pretty much arguing with us that, his work was right. He doesn't know why it's happening, and pretty much other than the black spots, he doesn't really know what he's gonna do. I brought up the fact that the floor was dropped off on a Wednesday and they started installing it on a Friday, and this is hardwood floors. They do need to acclimate, but he didn't know that happened. And he said he's done this job thousands and thousands of times. He doesn't need to do humidity readings. He just knows once he walks into a house. And I asked him if he was here the day of install to get a humidity reading or have one of his guys get one, because one, I know he wasn't here, and two, I wanted to see what he would say. His answer was, no, I didn't get a reading. Cool, right? So then secondly, under this whole space here, it's a crawl space. So we said to him, hey, did you also know that under this is a crawl space that may have caused the floor at least to be more humid than, you know, the hardwood floors or whatever. Either way, it didn't acclimate, and he was like, oh no, I didn't know that either. As he was leaving, he's like, you know what, I'll just replace the new flooring. And we were kind of okay with that. And that night we sent a message saying, hey, can you replace that for us? And he's like, you know what, I'm gonna wait to find out more about those black spots and see what I can do. A couple of days later, he came back to us. He's like, I'm not replacing anything. I'm gonna resand. I'm gonna use this product that cleans all that black stuff up and resand everything. We weren't happy with that solution because now it's gonna be the third time that they were gonna resand and reseal and refinish. And with the original floor, we don't know how many times that's happened. So every time you do this, you take off a little bit of the floor. So we just weren't happy with that solution because the whole floor had to be done, not just the part that had the black spots. And his solution was to replace the floor completely with a different type of floor. This floor would be thicker and wider. We thought, okay, that might be a better idea, just make the whole floor the same. But a couple of buts, I guess. One is we had to pay the price of the floor. I guess he would just do the install for free, but we would have to still pay for the material. And two, because the floor is thicker than the one we currently have, we have to do something about the cabinets because the cabinets are currently sitting on top of the existing floor. So now we had a different problem. How do we make the floor fit, cabinets fit, whatever, you know what I mean? So that way the floor is here being higher than what's already there, and then the cabinet's gonna be a little bit lower. So you're gonna be losing a little space. Not that it's the biggest issue, but just we didn't want that, right? So we, from the beginning, it was a complete teardown, as you saw. We wanted to do it correctly and right. And I, at this point, didn't want to cut corners. So we got with our contractor and came up with a plan. So now the plan is going to be to remove the island completely. So that way they can put the new hardwood floor under it. And then we would cut up, we would take the toe kicks off of the cabinets, cut up a little bit more into that. And then we would raise the cabinets. The difference between what the new floor is, which is 3/4 inch, and the old floor, which is 5/16, and if I'm not mistaken, the difference in that size is 3/8, I think. So we will raise that on the back cabinets here, so that way the floor would be, you know, right up to the toe kicks. So that is where we stand with the floor. But because of that, we haven't been able to do much. And it's been pretty exhausting, pretty tiring, frustrating, mentally draining, stressing, everything. It's just been one thing after another. And we were supposed to be done late February, and I get it, you know, things happen. But being that the floor is holding us up for this long, it's pretty annoying. Now it's gonna be the third time we're doing this, and we gotta put in more money to get it fixed. So, you know, that's pretty much where we are right now. We did get countertops, kind of. As you can see, we do have some countertops here, but not there. So, they were installing the countertops last Tuesday, and a week ago. And on Monday, we got a phone call saying that they actually broke the island when they were making the template or the hole for the sink. So that's cool. That product comes from Spain, so they have to wait for that to come in. And that had already delayed us about 3 to 4 weeks because when we were ready to get the templating of the actual countertops, they were back ordered on it. So it was great to get that phone call the day before that the countertop was broken. And then we just said, hey, can you bring the other 2 slabs, because we didn't want to have these just hanging around for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. So they did bring them in on Tuesday. They got this one in perfectly, it fit. And then the one over there was not cut correctly. So it was kind of like on an angle on this side here. So it's like less space here, and then it gets more space there. So it looks like when they were cutting it, they started going like that. It's not crazy, but it's enough to just say, no, I don't want that, do it again. They left this piece in the interim. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Either way, it's not silicone to the cabinets, it's just kind of sitting on top there. So now we're waiting for that piece and the island piece to come in to finish that. But in retrospect, it's kind of been a blessing, because now we don't have to worry about taking the countertop piece off of the island when we take the island apart. So that kind of worked out. It was annoying at the time, but because the island's coming out, essentially we gotta tear it apart, put it, I don't know, anywhere, everywhere in this house. And then once the floor gets laid, a few days later, we will have to put it back together. And by then, maybe countertops will be ready. We are still waiting on the floor delivery. We don't know when that's gonna happen, but I definitely know that I want this floor to acclimate for the very least a week before they can come in and install it. I know he's gonna be like, oh no, I'm ready. And I'm gonna tell him absolutely not. Make sure you do it right. Get all the humidity testings that you need before you do it, because I don't want the same issue to happen again. I'm not trying to do this for the 4th time. Absolutely not. It's Tuesday. Apparently he put the order in for the Friday. Put in the order for the floor on Friday. And when we texted him yesterday saying, hey, what's the ETA on the floor delivery? His response was, I'm sick, I'll get back to you. You're a flooring company, you're the owner of this flooring company, you don't have other people handling these things for you? Boggles my mind. And I understand that maybe you are the one who wants to deal with it, but maybe get your next person in line under you that you trust to handle this and get this expedited. I don't know. That's just what I think. But needless to say, the guy, I wouldn't recommend him to anyone. So we'll see how he does this time around. But when he was here, not a very nice guy. Very condescending. I didn't like the way he spoke to us. As you can see though, we did get our appliances. I think in the last video, they may or may not have been here. I can't remember. Or if they were just hanging around. But we did get a refrigerator. We were super excited about that. We do have it put in to where it's supposed to go, but it's gonna have to get moved again. It's annoying. It's apparently super freaking heavy, and my contractor's not super excited about that, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Here we have the range, and then right over there, you have the dishwasher. We did get a microwave as well. It's gonna be over there. And all those are in place, but all those appliances are gonna have to get moved when we get all this stuff out of the way. So tomorrow, contractor should be coming, we'll see, to start to take apart the island, move all the appliances, raise these 2 cabinets, and then have it ready for when the flooring is ready to get installed. Other than that, very minor things have happened. Maybe that thing right there, it's a little shelf unit. We're gonna be putting some flowers, plants. Sorry, that might not have been there. Trim is down, but guess what? It's gotta come right back out to put the flooring in. So that's cool. Either way, I think that's all we have. Probably other things here, but really that's the bulk of it. So that's all the update that I have for you guys right now. A whole lot of nothing has happened and a whole bunch of everything has happened, as you can tell. So by the end of this week, maybe I'll film again when all this is out of the way. And in a week or two, perhaps, we have flooring down and we can keep moving forward to the finish line. At this point, I guess we're gonna be done, I don't know, mid-April, late April, maybe May with this part. May 11th, the doors and windows come in, so it looks like we'll be getting all that one right after the other. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a nice thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Trying to get to the goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year would definitely help the channel out tremendously. Any comments, questions, suggestions, put them down in the description below. And like always, keep on living a modern lifestyle through technology. Peace.